Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Bible Q&A. Today we're discussing how should we deal with death in the family? If you watched my video on should a Christian fear death, much of this stuff will feel familiar. But a lot of that content will be comforting for those grieving a family member. For example, the best way to deal with loss is to remember that we believe in resurrection. Before Jesus showed that it would be universal for Christians, certain children of God knew that they would be resurrected one day. Job said, "If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait, till my change come." Job chapter 14, verse 14. Also, the woman of Shunem believed so much in Elisha's ability to resurrect her son that she didn't even grieve him when he died, in 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 20. She just got on her donkey and rode to Elisha's house, knowing that he could take care of the situation. However, despite having this story in their Torah, many Jews still didn't believe resurrection was possible, according to John chapter 11, verse 15. So even though it pained him to see Lazarus get sick, Jesus waited until he died before coming, knowing that he could resurrect him and bring joy to his family. Resurrection is what drives a Christian to be dedicated in their faith, because if they don't believe they'll be resurrected, why would they believe that Jesus was? Paul declared, "If there be no resurrection of the dead, then is Christ not risen. And if Christ be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain." 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 13 to 14. What are we putting hope in God for, according to verse 17, if we and our loved ones can only serve Him once? That's why Paul didn't mourn people after their deaths. It would go against his faith that they would rise to live again. He told the Thessalonians, "For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus will God bring with Him." 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 14. He asked Christians to comfort one another with these words. And the funny part is, we don't even need to believe that our family members are going to meet God to be comforted. They'll one day be resurrected to live on the earth, and they'll be happy here. As Jesus told us, "Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming, in the which all that are in the graves shall hear His voice, and shall come forth, they that have done good unto the resurrection of life, and they that have done evil unto the resurrection of damnation." John chapter 5, verses 28 to 29. They also won't have to deal with people who will harm them, because those kinds of people won't be resurrected. The reason why we'll live on earth and not in heaven is because God will reshape the earth to be a suitable home for Christians, according to Revelation chapter 21, verse 1. He never wanted it to be empty. He said in Isaiah, "For thus saith the Lord that created the heavens, God Himself that formed the earth and made it. He hath established it. He created it not in vain. He formed it to be inhabited. I am the Lord, and there is none else." Isaiah chapter 45, verse 18. Thus, even though our family members won't go to heaven after they die, we'll still be comforted in the fact that they'll one day return to the earth. And that is where I'm going to stop with this Bible Q&A. How should we deal with death in the family? We should understand that our righteous family members will be resurrected to live eternally on the earth. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe.